All right, Kiss Army, welcome to the KissFAQ Podcast. Thank you for giving us your time today and letting us into your head. I hope we don't do any damage. This is a Kiss-related podcast by the board, for the board. We hope that you enjoy. Welcome to episode 395 of the KissFAQ Podcast. I've been drinking beer, watching Liverpool play today, so woohoo. Well, it's not really beer, it's water. Coors Light. Welcome back to the gang. Marcus Almighty, Mark.
Greetings.
St. Louis Kiss. Lonnie.
Who day?
And the voice of reason, Ken.
Who not?
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
Who
come
not?
on. You got to root for him over the Rams.
I'm rooting for the Bengals.
There you
Who not day? Yeah. Is anyone voting for rooting for the Rams, Jonathan?
Yeah,
Not me.
about it.
Yeah.
Not me.
All right, so I actually bought some Kiss shit this week, which really
Whoa.
surprised me because it became available again, and someone was kind enough to post it on the FAQ. So the Talk Shop Live signed CD is as bad as I knew it was going to be. It's just the CD sealed and a tiny little postcard with Gene and Paul signing in blue Sharpie on. I mean, you could barely even see that stuff. But anyway, it's something else from the Destroyer 45 package. So you know what? It was worth it. If anyone wants a copy of the CD who hasn't bought it, and you're not going to put it up on eBay to get $4, you can have this. First person who emails me, Julian, you're a dick, at kissfaq@outlook.com, gets it. Anyone else bought any cool stuff this week?
Ken, you got something?
Ken, do you want to go first? Or do you want to go last?
I'll go last.
Okay. Well, I'll just show something that I didn't buy this, but just Ken is aware of this, but I'm kind of thinning out my vinyl collection.
How's Ken aware of it? You giving him like a head start on everyone else?
Yeah, whoa.
Whoa! What do we have going on here?
Well, no, I mean, I'm getting rid of some of my vinyl mainly because my shelves are like completely stacked. I'm putting vinyl now on tables and other areas of the house, and it's getting a little bit overrun here. And plus, I could use a little bit of cash to pay off a looming property tax bill coming, so it'll help as well. But in any case, I'm getting rid of some records, but just to show one, since we're going to be talking about one, like I'm getting rid of my 85 polygram of the first album, right? And a bunch of other ones as well. I sent Ken a small list of stuff that I'm looking to purge. And, I haven't put it in public yet because I figured I would just talk to people that I know first and see if they're interested. And then I'll, go out into the wild and see if anybody else is interested. But, friends first, because I not that I don't trust people, but I know Ken well. I know, there's other people I'm talking to, like Julian and these other people, which I'll get to eventually. If they're interested in it, then, feel free to hit me up and know if you want to take a look at something further. But that's what I'm basically doing. I haven't bought anything new. I'm on the opposite end of the thing. I'm kind of purging a bit now.
Nice. Yeah.
You're binging and purging.
I'm purging. I actually sold a really obscure EP.
Mark's purging, you're binging.
It's right.
Ken's always purchasing. All right, Ken, you're up.
Now, what were you selling, Ken Julian?
Oh, I've got cassettes and all that crap to sell, and it's like I can't get organized to actually take photos of everything, so I just throw it up on eBay because I can't be bothered to try and do private deals. Did get rid of a Singapore unmasked pressing, which was, I think that's
nice.
one of my last Singaporean copies. Actually, no, I still have Out of Control, but I'm working my way through. Got a nice Originals too that's going to go, and of course. Greatest Kiss? Yeah, all the all the Kisteria albums are going. I think most of them are sealed. All right, Ken, your turn.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'll just show these two because I forgot about these. This is the Peter Criss.
Ooh, you got yours. Nice.
I got the vinyl. That one and the other.
Let Me Rock You.
Let Me Rock You. Mellow style. Yeah. So that I got those, and then the other thing that I was looking forward to is I purchased that special Italy pressing.
Yeah, Agostini.
Yeah, D'Agostini pressing, and it finally came. It finally arrived. It took a long time to make it here, the customs and everything. But it comes with the this hard and heavy, booklet. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna have to translate the Italian
Fuck, I've had enough of Italian translations for 1 week.
text. Yeah, I need to translate that. So that and this it actually came with the.
Now, is, that,
Oh, nice.
is that just a print or is it a cutout? Pop out.
It's a cutout. And the thing is, though, now this here and the original, I have the original here from the original pressings way back. The original pressing from the 70s. This was by itself, and this had was like a papery, thinner paper kind of thing. This is kind of all the cardboard. You're going to have a hell of a time. You're going to have to take a big swing to get this thing if you put it together, to pop.
Yeah.
Sound like a freaking shotgun. That gauge of cardboard.
Oh, yeah, it would sound well. If you can do it, then, great. But, I'm not going to. So that's another I guess you'd call it variation of part of it. The other thing is, it has the same insert, the Kiss insert with like the blood logo.
Oh, yeah, the inner sleeve, yeah.
Yeah, it's still there. And then they give you an extra inner sleeve, which is nice. A good one. And the thing is, this one was heavier. I could feel it right away. It felt heavier than normal. It felt heavier than 180 gram. And then I weighed it. It was 200, which I didn't know. So it's your
very nice
normal Love Gun Filmworks label. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's another different mastering. I kind of listened to it.
Is it a different mastering?
I think it is.
According to the Matrix, is it not the 2014?
I think it's a different matrix on it.
Yeah.
So I gotta look at it closer, but I think it's different. I could be wrong, but I think it's different. Anyway, I played it. I didn't play it loud yesterday. I need to play it loud. I didn't want to annoy anybody. So yeah. So that's what I got, and it's just another addition to my Love Gun albums, vinyls that I have.
Why the hell not? That's kind of cool that came out. Talking about vinyl and Kiss-related vinyl, before we go to you, Lonnie, is Michael Kohler on the Kiss My Wax Facebook group posted a couple of teaser videos this week of the clear vinyl German Elder copy that's coming very, very soon. And it's always nice to see in the pressing factory when they squish that puck and turn it into an Elder is really neat. So that is clearly coming along. And he posted a little teaser of a box from Universal today, so who knows what else or what other goodies you might be able to see there. So do check out the Kiss My Wax Facebook group, which has that. And hopefully I'm going to have Tom on to talk about the Rockologist releases of both of those slabs of vinyl that you just showed off at the beginning, Ken. I want to talk to him about the full project and everything that's gone into that. But I don't want to interrupt him shipping the damn things, because I know he's working like a madman to get those out the door. So hopefully soon be able to catch up with Tom and the Rockologists, because there's a lot of vinyl coming down the pipe. Lonnie, you don't have anything Kiss related, but you do have something. You have something cool that just arrived. So I show us.
Yeah, something very cool and very partial to me. Is that in the mail right before the show started, I got home and my Guns N' Roses Hard School 45 and my Guns N' Roses CD for Hard School had arrived. Hard School on the G side, Absurd on the R side for old school GNR fans. And then on the CD, it's Hard School and Absurd, two new tracks from Guns N' Roses from last year. And then a live version of Don't Cry, and a live version of You're Crazy, which I'm assuming are new release live tracks from the their new touring days, but I don't know yet because it's still in the shrink wrap, and I'll have to check it out after the show. So very cool though. Like, what kind of world are we living in with the Bengals in the Super Bowl and new Guns N' Roses music? It's very, very bizarre.
Well,
Yeah, it's
good
bizarre.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
I hope it goes your way.
I may drunk text you guys Sunday night if they win. I can't. I don't know. I'm not. Gonna be
I'm just
responsible for
afraid of any
anything Sunday night.
videos that you might be sharing. If
That's a good one. I can show you guys.
it gets rather scary at times. It's been a while since I was that excited about a team going all the way. But of course, since Brady retired, yeah,
Retired.
for now.
Yeah.
Never say never, he said.
Never say never. So let's talk some Kiss. I didn't think too much about this week. We had a few topics that came up on the board. So thank you, board. And thank you to the person who pointed out that I didn't discuss the topic in the way that they had posted the topic. No, that's what I do. I just take your ideas and boom, go where I want with them. So I may not participate in those topics, but I do read quite a few, and I've locked a few today. So, yeah. We'll leave that there. One of the topics I haven't locked was a very good one, and it's actually one that isn't directly about Kiss, because we always talk about the Kiss ones that, what would we like Kiss to do that other bands have done? Well, this one is flipped on its head. It's what would you like other bands to do that Kiss has done? Yeah. Mark, you do buy quite a lot of product, or you did before you started selling off some of the excess. What are some of the things that Kiss has put out that you think some other bands that kind of form a central part of your existence you'd appreciate?
Well, I really wish that other bands would do a sort of like a special event, like a New Year's Eve concert, and then try to sell it to the people who are watching it, and then not send it to them for a year or two.
Are you trying to trigger Ken?
Mark, you go right for the throat, don't you?
No, okay. Oh, sorry, you want the good stuff? Okay, sorry, I forgot. So yeah, basically, what I would like to see some of the bands. Look, let's put it this way: one band that I know that doesn't do a lot of stuff is Rush. When they were active and they were doing stuff, they were a band that you would never find like access stuff to buy. Like, you wouldn't see many of these little tchotchke things that you would find in all these little stores like Spencer's and stuff like that for Rush stuff, And even still, it took them a while before they started even doing these box sets, like the Rush one and the 2112, not 2012, the Farewell to Kings, the Hemispheres, and all those ones that came out. That took them a long time to do it. But one thing Kiss did really well is the whole product thing. They had so many things you could go and get stuff: thermoses, lunch boxes, pajamas, like anything you can think of, they did. But Rush and those bands never did those kind of things. I'm not saying those products in particular. I'm just saying that I wish Rush would have did at least something, because during the time when they were running, they never really did many kinds of stuff like that. But I can't, Kiss is a kind of band, unfortunately, that I always refer to as a band to not do what they do more than to do what they do. You know what I mean? Every time they do stuff, it just seems like they're either behind the times or just not with it, or something that I'm not interested in. So the only thing I could think of, honestly, that I would want to see other bands do more that they do is just give me some more stuff to buy, that's not just vinyl.
Mark's a little sore he never got Rush pajamas, is what he said.
I don't know. I don't
Or
see
shower curtains.
I don't see Rush branded condoms being a big seller.
Come on, the Geddy Lee brand. Come on, the big nose.
Yeah, Rush.
Rush. Pretty good, Julian.
All right, Lonnie. Since you're flashing the Guns N' Roses gear, I mean, anything from some of the bands that you like Kit to take a look out of Kiss's page.
Kiss did one thing that I wish Guns N' Roses would do, and that's a reunion tour with all the original members. How about that? To as much as it's cool that Duff and Slash are back in the band, how cool would it be to see Izzy Stradlin and Steven Adler up there with them as well, to see the original five up there. and just go up there, and you can say what you want, about, well, they weren't there for the Illusions albums, whatever. Izzy wrote all that stuff like a lot of that stuff on Illusion, and Steven can play drums on it. Whatever, who cares?
Well, he did an '86 on a lot of it.
Right. So yeah, like, a lot of those songs that ended up on Illusion were demoed for Appetite, and not a lot of them, but a good chunk of them. I like to see that personally. If Kiss can put aside their differences, we all know how much, the full bass and Peter Camp badmouth the Gene and Paul Camp in the '80s and back and forth and vice versa. For whatever reason, we they haven't been able to get together with Steven and Izzy, and I know Steven did a couple guest appearances early on, but those have dried up, and you don't see Steven making a guest appearance anymore. And Izzy did a few things with Axl before the reunion, but since the reunion, no sign of Izzy. I would love to see them do what Kiss did and just say, you know what, we're just going to do this. We're going to hash it out, and as much as we didn't like each other in the past, we're going to get along and do that, because I never got to see the original five together, just like I had never gotten to see the original Kiss together. I would love to have that experience, to see the magic, just to borrow a terrible word, the magic that existed between that original line.
Now, Lonnie, yes, sir. You're a big Guns guy, and I know that you have the ear to the ground when it comes to Guns. Is there any kind of rumor as to why Izzy is not involved more with this?
I heard, and it's just pure rumor, is that Izzy wanted more than they were willing to give him.
Okay.
Because I've heard Axl makes a percentage, and then Slash makes a percentage, and then Duff, and then the rest is left over to split amongst the group. And I don't think between the big three they were willing to give up a percentage for Izzy Stradling, because I think they thought, well, no one, because in their minds, well, who's going to pay to come see Izzy Stradlin? It's about the big three. But I'm with you. But I'm with you. And again, and my point was, you asked me what would you like other bands to do that Kiss has done? Figure it out and get the original lineup up there.
Good one.
Yeah, I've boycotted Guns N' Roses to this point because there's no Izzy. Not interested. Just like I boycotted, and I kind of cursed myself for doing this. I boycotted Van Halen because there was no Michael Anthony. I was just happy that Sammy was gone, but no Michael Anthony. I did not go. I skipped all of those tours because I just wasn't going to do it. So, I'd love to see Izzy there, but again, if he's not getting paid what he's due, he's so critical. That rhythm guy, I mean, he's the Brad Whitford of the band. He is the songwriter. He is the melody. He is everything, to my mind, anyway.
Go look through those Illusion records and see how many songs have Stradlin as a song credit on all.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, now Appetite, they just split it amongst the five. But you go look those Illusions records, man, a lot of them has Stradlin as an album.
And even those early shows, watch some of those ones that when they had on MTV when they did at the Whiskey, I think it was, or no, it was a Roxy or something like that.
The Ritz.
That's it. Yeah, that show, he was Slash was a wreck. He was half out in the bag in that. But Izzy, that rhythm section held that show together perfectly. If it wasn't for them, it would have been a disaster, that show. But they kept it together. Slash kind of did his job there, but they were actually pretty good because of that. Because Izzy, his playing is not the most flashiest, but he's very solid, and he locks in perfectly with Steven and with Duff. Those three are fantastic together.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us on the Guns N' Roses podcast today.
I'll shut up for a little while.
No, I mean, that's really cool. I mean, I spun that box set the other day. Holy shit. It just reminds me how good a year 1987 was for me musically. And on the Look It's Rock and Roll podcast, we got to do one of these year focuses.
Yes.
Because I would probably pick 1987 or 86. It's really kind of tough, those 2 years, to be my year that defines me musically. I'm going to go before Ken gets a chance to speak about his. Kissology. For what it's worth, I think Kiss did a very good job with those 3 volumes. I think it represents the band and their career extremely well. Yes, we know there's other stuff that could have gone in there, but again, there's the little money thing and rights and all that shit that we just don't really ever want to understand as music fans. I would love Aerosmith to do a similar sort of series, breaking up their career in a similar manner. So, say 73 to 76 for one volume, 76 to 79 as to another volume, and then other volumes, the Crespo de Fe era into Back in the Saddle, be its own, and for them to do, a focus on that. There's a hell of a lot of unreleased footage for that band that would be really cool for fans to see, whether it's from the final show with Joe in 79 to some of the 8mm stuff that circulates from the 70s, and then taking it all the way through and expanding on some of those releases. So I think Kissology as a concept is something that a lot of the bands that I love could really do. Def Leppard. Oh my God. For what they've done, they've only scratched the surface, and it's still not gathered together in one place. The Pistols. Oh,
Rush, too, for sure.
Yeah, Rush as well. They tease a bit behind the help me out,
The
Mark.
Lightest Stage.
Thank you. Is really cool, and you get some of the early footage kind of shared in there, but the full things, the features, there's a lot of good black and white footage as well as some of the footage from the same venues that Kiss played, the Summit, Largo, the same venues. And this applies to Aerosmith, this applies to Nugent, this applies to just about any band, REO, Cheap Trick, Styx. Heart. The list is endless. To kind of package it up in a similar way to how Kiss has done for Kissology, with also the narrative tracks that they did do on those, are very appealing. So that would be my one thing I would pick. Ken?
It's good.
Yeah, first of all, I say on Mark's, I agree with him about the Rush stuff. Though they could do condoms because, come on, Caress of Steel. Come on.
Oh,
Nice.
You've been thinking about that one the whole time.
Preparing.
I guess that's better than Bite Her in the Snow Dog.
Yeah, that would work. Otherwise, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, what do I want these other bands to do that Kiss does? I do agree with Mark that Rush could definitely release more stuff, but they haven't really. Maybe Bon Jovi could try to do a Crazy Nights type album. I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. Kiss for me is its own unique thing. Do I want some other bands to wear, put on makeup or do some of these other things? The only other thing I could think of is some shows are just kind of, blah, and maybe a little bit more pyrotechnics and other things like that, and attention to detail, lasers and stuff like that.
Would you like other bands? Would you like other bands that bring in new members and have them dress up like their old members?
There you go.
Yes.
Wow, that's a great idea.
Maybe.
Phil X dressed like Richie Sambora. Is that what you said?
Doesn't Leonard Skinner do that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, to a degree, but not necessarily. Because Ricky Medlock is Ricky Medlock and that sort of stuff. So, truly I cannot think of anything that I would want some other groups to do that Kiss has done. I mean, maybe AC/DC stretch out and try to change their style a little bit. Just a little bit.
AC/DC does Carnival
it's never
Assaults?
changed.
There you go.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. But yeah.
Would you like them to put out a lot of greatest hits packages?
There you go.
Actually, the AC/DC probably
AC/DC does not have a
needs-
greatest hit package.
needs
Iron Man?
a good
Iron Man,
solid,
yeah, that's one exception.
solid greatest hits, or box sets. They need to start doing some box sets. Maybe that's the thing, like maybe a highway, highway to hell
Yeah.
box set, right? That would be great, like the Destroyer box. Okay, so there's something
There you go.
that I would
Or
like to
they need to write an Elder type concept record.
see.
Can you imagine AC/DC doing that?
A concept rest? I cannot imagine that. So there you have it, Julian. That's all I got.
AC/DC, the Albert years. So all those Australian albums that were different than the international releases. There must be
Yes.
some alternate takes kicking around, as well as
Oh, sure.
a CD digital
Demos.
quality of the first single would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Bonfire went a certain way, kind of distance to doing that. It did have a lot of the stuff that was off those releases that didn't make it onto the international versions, as did what the hell was that Abomination that was released in like '84. Oh crap!
Oh,
Yeah,
I can't remember.
damn it, getting old.
But their album in
Yeah.
'84.
Yeah, no, there was an album that came out because they reissued Dirty Deeds that had a whole bunch of shit on it in '82 to take advantage of the popularity that Back in Black
yeah.
did, and then there was another release afterwards. Oh yeah, '74 Jailbreak. That had the rest of the Australian only. I only listened to the Australian version, so trying to think of that American catalog stuff, which just hasn't really been part of my vocabulary, is kind of weird. Okay, so let's get into some Kiss stuff, because you had a whole bunch of really cool topics, Ken, and that was celebrating the 48th anniversary of the February the 8th release of the debut album.
February 8th. And I mean, we've seen a lot of different things. There's been, people saying it's not February 8th, but yeah, I'll go by it. I've seen enough to say February 8th. That's fine. We can just say February 74.
Does it
Leave
really
that
matter?
back.
Well, February the 8th is the date, and all of the federal government documentation, when they did the original trademarks of the KISS logo and that glitter logo on the top of that album mark, they used the first date used in commerce was February the 8th, 1974. Even though if you look at the test pressing insert sheet or cover sheet, it had January, I think, 26th listed, and it would have come out at all different times across the country. I think it was targeted for the end of January, but clearly we've got the stories from the Canadian tour where Canada was pressing copies of the album for distribution promotionally, and they were arriving still warm, in early February. So, February the 8th is the date. It's the date that appears in documentation, but everyone... I've got that original telex that had the wrong dates of a lot of these releases, and, that didn't get sent until like 1980, I think was the year. And it was, just being sent to one of the affiliates to confirm the original dates. So I go by what's in the Library of Congress. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. People can go through newspaper archives and see when ads appeared. Well, ads were also ordered in advance. So when they were actually available for people to pick up from stores ultimately doesn't matter. I'm happy enough to say 1974. It's a 1973 album. It's when it was recorded. It was released in 74. What the fuck does it matter?
Exactly.
Yeah, and don't forget too, test pressings. Just because the date on the test pressing is, let's say, January, the test pressing is essentially for the band to sit there and say, yeah, I like it or I don't like it. That doesn't mean that that's the date it came out. For all you know, they could have listened to it and said, I don't like this test pressing, do another one, and then you get another date all of a sudden, right?
Yeah, and the test pressing itself, that sheet that I mentioned, it was a December, I think, 26th date on it. So at Christmas time, and it had a release date on it had a little box that had the release date for it was the January the 26th. So it was... The only thing that's interesting about that sheet is actually that it said that new mix. So that suggests that there was
Interesting.
earlier acetate
No.
or test pressing that had an alternative mix. I'm more
Wow.
interested about that for the first album
Yeah.
Yes.
and the original sequence. So maybe we'll find out about that one day. Ken, pick one of your topics. Let's go. I'm going to pass the buck.
From that studio album, I was wondering if you guys thought that is that song order. I know we're so used to it and everything. It's kind of ingrained in our brains or whatever. But is that song order, running order on the first album, good? Would you change it at all?
Honestly, I can't imagine this record going in any other order than this. I mean, mainly because it's one of my favorite records overall from their catalog. I mean, I think it's number 3 on my list overall of Kiss records. And I mean, to me, it just flows really nicely. I can't imagine this record starting any other way with it than the strutter, like that's just so etched in my brain, and even still, I think what's interesting is I think that the record was perfect when it didn't have Kissing Time on it, because I think starting off side 2 with Deuce was a great idea. Starting it off later with putting Kissing Time on it, well, it's not horrendous, but it still doesn't have the same kick, the same effect that having just Deuce start off the album side B. That's just my opinion, but the flow of it is great. I think it runs so nicely, that record. I've never once listening to that record ever sat there and said, I don't know why this is on here, or I wish they would have moved this to somewhere else on the record. I think it's perfect.
Lonnie, have you ever thought about resequencing the album, say, to match the rear cover order?
I halfway agree with. I like what Mark said, that I think Deuce starting the second side is much better than Kissin' Time starting the second side. I would flop those two songs for one another. Just have Deuce start the second side and then go into Kissin' Time before the rest of the second half of the record. But I think flipping the record over and hearing those opening chords of Deuce, I think would be more impactful than hearing the beginning of Kissin' Time. And that was the original intention, is flip that record over and here's the opening chords of Deuce. So I agree with Mark. Kissing Time being on there, it's fine. It's a good song. It's fun. When they played that song in 2006 in Japan, actually. And I remember seeing reports that they played that. I'm like, oh, that's really cool, actually, that they played that. That's fun. It's back when this new, the new lineup of Eric and Tommy, this band can play whatever song we want. I'm like, that's actually really cool that they're playing that. And how fun is that? I would love that if I saw a Kiss show and they played just Kissing Time. I'm like, that's fun. But I would flop Deuce and then Kissing Time and then go on Love Theme for Kiss if I had to do anything to this record, because I think that was the original intention, so turn the record over and its opening chords of Deuce.
Ken?
Yeah, I mean, I started looking at it and I thought, it might work if you, this is why I brought up the, strike that, reverse it kind of thing, is, I would even strike Love Theme from Kiss from the album. I think they were bringing that in just to fill the time, to meet the standard. So they brought in Kissin' Time later too. That's just to try to get a single. But I think they could have, struck the Love Theme from Kiss out and then reversing the order would have been kind of cool. I can almost see Black Diamond starting off, the metal intro, and then it kicks in, kind of like, I Want You does on Rock and Roll Over. It starts mellow and it kicks in. And there's a lot of artists and other, people, albums or whatever that do that kind of thing. And then, follow that by, 100,000 Years. I'm just going totally reverse. 100,000 Years, and then Deuce would be the third song. And then Kissin' Time, and then you can start actually Let Me Know as the lead off for the side 2, and then Cold Gin Firehouse, Nothing to Lose, and end with Strutter. Kind of go on. I don't know.
That would be an odd listen, I think.
It could work.
You're thinking about this too much.
I know. It's kind of odd because the thing is, it's been around for so long and we've heard it that way for so long. I'm just thinking, I wonder who really came up with the original sequence anyway. Even Deuce could lead off the whole album essentially too, because that's such a great song, and they lead it off a lot, in concert, or a lot of times. So I was just thinking about that, and I thought, oh yeah, I think it could do it. And I was going to try to sequence it that way and listen to it, and then I guess I will truly know if it works or it bothers me or something.
Which is really weird, because generally the song that leads off an album is going to be the lead-off single from that album. So
or the second song. That's why Nothing to Lose was released, because lots of times they save it for the second track.
Yeah, but Strutter is like the perfect opening track for Kiss, for their career.
It's a good opening. Yeah.
Nothing to Lose never had that kind of dynamism. So, in terms of switching a song order around on Kiss, I don't want to mess with it at all. I'm so used to Kissin' Time being on there, even in that position, that if I was to put Deuce back in its original spot and listening to some rips of the promo of that first album, it feels uncomfortable to my ears as an 85 fan, to not have Kissin' Time on there. And I'm fortunate that the version of the album that I had, didn't have any weird other features on it. If you think of people who their first listen to, what was it, that had the live version of
85.
Oh, 85, yeah, the one I just
85
showed.
had the live version of Nothing to Lose.
Nothing to Lose, yeah.
Not on mine.
No,
what did you have? The vinyl or the?
No,
cassette?
I had the cassette.
The cassette might have been.
And it most certainly did not have the live version. That would have messed with my head. To have a live version in the middle. No, I never had. I've never owned a copy that had the live version of Nothing to Lose on it, which is.
Now's your chance, right here.
Now's your chance.
I didn't buy that one from Mark.
Thanks, Mark. I
already have it.
So that's really weird. Okay, let's move on into. Did you guys see the Biography History Blu-ray available for pre-order in Australia? So apparently they were going to release that. When was the release date? March. And they've got to pick
with the tour.
No, it's going to be right. I thought it was. Or am I reading the date wrong? I thought it was going to be September or something.
Well, now it is.
Oh, okay.
The tour.
Yeah, I found the press sheet for it, which has the original artwork to the release, and the one on the Blu-ray from the websites has current lineup. So it's really weird,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yay or nay? Current lineup or original lineup only on the cover of the artwork, and would you buy a DVD or Blu-ray release of that? I've already paid. Actually, I don't have to pay for it because I've got Amazon Prime, so I'm able to watch it anytime I want. Yeah. Mark, will you buy it, or are you like, I've seen it, I'm good?
Well, honestly, knowing how I am, if I see it, I'll definitely buy it. I like Blu-rays. I mean, I have quite a few of them in my collection. And whenever I go now and look for even concert stuff, I always try to look for the Blu-ray over the regular DVD release of it. And, as far as the cover goes, I think the one way that they could rectify this and make all parties happy is why not just have multiple, lineups on the cover instead of having just one lineup. Instead of having just the original guys, why not have the originals? The lineup with Eric Carr, the lineup with Vinny on there, like all of them, like
collage.
Yeah, like a collage on the cover instead of having one, because then for sure someone's going to have an issue with if you just put one of them, whether it's that one, whether it's what someone's going to say there's no Eric, someone's going to say there's no Vinny, someone's going to say there's no Bruce Kulick. You know what I mean? Why not just put them all on there? They were all involved in the band anyways, right? And they were all talked about to some degree, I think, or if I don't remember if they talked about Vinny, but they talked about most of the lineups in some detail on the biography, so why not have them represented on the cover?
Yeah, so I did just fact check, and the release date on JB Hi-Fi was March the 22nd, and on the sales sheet that I posted today is now September. Lonnie, you gonna buy it?
I don't know. I haven't watched it since it came out in June, so.
But you don't have it, so how could you?
No, I have it on my DVR. I'm old school. I have it on my DVR still. So I haven't gone back and watched it, so I don't know. But at the same time, I'm a sucker. So if I see it, yeah, I probably would buy it just because I have everything else. So probably, but would I put it in my Blu-ray player immediately and like, oh, I can't wait to watch this? Probably not, because I haven't, like I said, I still have like a copy saved on my DVR, but I guess so. But at the same time, but I do have a problem with the new lineup being on there, because like whole night one was all about the original lineup, and a chunk of night two was about the original lineup getting back together, and we didn't gloss over the 80s as much as I thought they would in that biography, but come on, I think the original lineup should be on the cover of it. Just, I mean, come on.
All right, Ken.
Yeah.
If they throw in a free copy of this with your Dubai shit,
With my Dubai shit, yeah. It might come with the Dubai. It probably. Well, yeah.
Is that the free stuff they're
Dubai
talking
will
about that
come
you're going to
after
get?
it.
yeah.
I'm
So
sure.
we're
Dubai
gonna
will later.
recompense you with a free copy
That's
of
the extra stuff they're telling you.
when it's available for release.
Yes.
If it's an official U.S. release or whatever, I would probably get it. I always have this fear. Everything's all this streaming and internet and everything. I like to have a hard copy of this stuff. Whether it's the vinyl, the CDs, the DVD, the Blu-ray kind of stuff, because someday I have a feeling someone's going to bring down everything, and it's just going to be nothing. Something's going to happen. I just have this feeling. It may be after I'm dead, but I'm still thinking it could happen. And hey, I got my music. I still got it. I can play. I don't have to go on to whatever service to listen to it. I'll have it with me. I like tangible things, like these albums that were here and the behind me and so on. So I bought it. I own it. When you're streaming it, you don't own anything. You're just getting a right to listen to it, for a while until you stop paying or whatever. So, yeah, I would probably get it though, even though I do like Lonnie. It's on DVR on my.
What about the cover?
Oh, the cover, yeah. It's got to be the original lineup. If they want, they can put the new lineup on the back. And they can put the molded lineups inside in the little book, these little booklet thingy, then show everybody else in between.
Let's feature Ace and Peter. Come on.
Yeah. So, yep. Keep the original lineup on the cover. That's the way to go.
All right, you're gonna buy the Knucklebones? Did you see those? The new
I did see them.
Dynasty,
They're
$159 per.
I have.
My wife was making fun of me the other night.
I have the Knucklebones. I do have the 4 Knucklebones for the what is it? Alive.
Yep.
I have that. I have those. I think I'm done. I mean, one set's enough. Though I think those Dynasty ones are kind of look cool, but I just can't. I can't get every version of Knucklebones out there.
I mean, what the fuck do you do with these things? I mean,
You just put them on a shelf and
Display
look.
them.
Display them.
They're trophies.
You can't play with them because they'll break.
I know. I
Like those
remember.
97 action figures.
Remember at the vault. I broke the what was it? The Paul one. I dropped it. Oops.
Oh yeah.
Those 97 action figures, they broke, taken out of the packaging. It was so terrible. Julian, do you remember that? You got the 97 action figures, Julian?
The McFarlanes.
Yeah.
I won a set, and I think it was a Kiss Freaks contest. I couldn't get rid of those things fast enough.
KissFAQ.
Oh my God.
Cool.
Yeah, remember everyone was freaking out because like one didn't have like one of the buttons painted, and it was like, this is a variant.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, really?
Shoot.
Yeah, I've a very low tolerance for any of that sort of rubbish.
That's
It's
I know
too
you do.
hilarious.
So I had to ask.
I am not interested in it, and yeah. All right,
You know-
Australia. Okay, go before we go to Australia. Ken.
No, I mean, you're talking about dolls. You remember back in the day, they used to have those dolls, and you pull the string out the back and let it go. Yeah, that would be kind of cool to have. Them sing a song. Each guy. Each member, an actual.
Here, pull
Hey,
your
Chinese
G.
automobiles, except you wouldn't pull. You would.
You're looking for Kiss. or
Except
you're looking for
now
someone, but it's not
you would
Kiss.
get the Gene Simmons doll, and you pull it back, and it would go.
Breathes
We
fire.
we will find you,
Yeah. Saw that.
Oh yeah, that we will find you this. Yeah.
and then you
If
pull back
somebody,
Paul, and it goes. I'm
Well,
riding my
those
bicycle.
24-inch Those 24-inch Destroyer dolls were kind of like that. Those 24-inch Destroyer dolls, like if you hit the button, they would play a song off Destroyer. Like
Yeah,
the Paul
that's
played
right.
Detroit Rock City, the Gene played God of Thunder, the
Yeah.
Peter
Mark
played
has
that.
the whole set. Yeah.
I have the whole set downstairs.
Do you really?
Really? Eh?
Wow.
What do they
I
do
don't
in-
have any
what,
of those.
What does Ace play?
I think Ace plays Flaming Youth or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's
He
Love Gun
plays-
versions too. I don't have
plays
the Love
the Sweet Pain solo.
Gun. Nice.
If you admit it, yeah.
Perfect.
All right,
Nice.
back on track somewhat.
Oh, sorry.
Sounds like we're off the rails today.
Australia, so postponed. Anyone shocked? Do you see it happening? I mean, none of us care. We're not in Australia. I care for my Australian brothers and
Australia.
sisters who haven't had the opportunity to see this band. You know, when the original dates were announced, it was going to be 2019, and
Yeah.
all they got was a freaking shark thing with 3 members.
3 guys on a shark and a little bit of fog, kind of.
On Gilligan's
Little teeny
Island
bit.
frickin' boat. I mean, holy shit. That must have been a matter of Gene. We're going to put you on a boat. And he gets there. That's not a boat. That's like the reverse Crocodile Dundee. Then it gets postponed again. I've got 2 fucking tour posters that Phil sent me, from Australian Kiss fans,
You get a third
that have the wrong goddamn dates on it now. And I don't want a third one. I was so hoping that they were going to actually get this tour done. But Australia's been really strict. Australia has been hardcore, and they have been immovable in how they approach it. And, we don't need to get into the, all the politics that go with that because it's universal. But, do you see South America happening? And, and
don't
what
know
are
about
what are
that.
your thoughts for our Australia mates? Mark?
I mean, I feel bad for them. I really do. I was following the thread before, and even on like Facebook and now, where people were following and awaiting the anticipation of the, the release of the information about it, and then it finally hit that they canceled it and they put up the poster with the new dates on it. Just the heartache you can read by some of these people who are posting there. It's sad. It really is, because I mean, here in America and Canada, we've had our chances to go and see them already during this tour, and Australia has yet to see them. Just imagine that they have yet to see them on this tour, and America's seen them a few times. I really wonder if it's going to happen, like, at all, because every time they cancel this, it just keeps pushing back the finality of it further and further back, and they still, I'm guessing, want to do this one last final hurrah show to end it all. When is that going to happen if they keep moving this stuff back? And the South American thing, I mean, I haven't been following along that intensely, but has there even been dates announced for South America even once? Or
Yeah.
yeah,
They're scheduled. It's supposed to be happening. When is it? April 20th, kicking off in Santiago, Chile. So they've got a long run through May where they're going to make up those, I think, 4 or 5 dates that they missed on the last leg of the U.S. tour. So South America's next, but you never hear anything out of South America about what's going on down there. Brazil was in the press a lot in the COVID news at one point, but any of the other countries, Argentina, Paraguay, whatever, I don't know what's going on down there. Are KISS willing to go down there? Paul's had just about every variant of the freaking disease at this point, so he's probably feeling, I'm strong, Yeah. But Australia wouldn't let him in. One, what is it, province, or I can't think of what it's called in Australia. Territory, thank you.
Yeah.
Is a little bit more adamant than the others in terms of opening up. So it's messed up. Lonnie?
I don't know. I mean, we've been doing this for 2 years now, and is it really going to be okay in September for them to go down there? Like, how? I don't see things changing by September. That okay, let's do this tour, because we've just been stuck in, I don't know. And I'm trying not to get political on the show or anything like that, but we've just been stuck where we're at for the last 2 years.
Purgatory.
Yes. And I think it's just here to stay. And it is what it is. We just have to learn to accept it and live with it. And I don't see it, but I don't know. I gotta bite my tongue. I don't see things changing. I don't see it happening in September again. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's not even political anymore, because we have to live at some point, and people who've opted out will have to live with those consequences, and people who've opted in will have to live with those consequences as well. We're all, screwed one way or the other, whether we're vaxxed and some variant comes along that it doesn't work on, or maybe takes advantage of, is worse for, imagine a variant comes along that's worse for those who are vaccinated than the unvaccinated. Holy shit. I mean,
they'll never tell you that, though.
No. At which point I'm just going to put my hands up and just say, fuck it. I think at some point we gotta just open the doors up, because I don't think people can take much more of it. I don't think society, the economies, that there are bigger things. I don't want anyone to pass away from this fucking disease. I've had it, I don't want anyone to suffer. I don't want anyone's families to suffer. But on the other side of the coin, we're not living. And rock and roll is about celebrating being alive. So, Ken, bless us with some reason, please. Give us the answers, Ken.
Please.
Yeah, I do think, and I'm kind of optimistic, as usual, that
Optimistic Ken.
that it will happen. I think things are going to calm down, and after we go through, summer, I think things are going to be looking good. It's just my feel. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I feel on where we're headed. So I think it will finally happen. Late August, early September, right? So, and that's going to be good. And as for South America, all that's, I don't know. Are there still scheduled dates?
Yeah, they have not been postponed. So April, May
of this year.
Yeah, of this year.
That might,
it's stretching on too long.
Those might happen. Yeah, those might happen. That's a kind of iffy one, but I do think the Australia one will definitely happen. I would almost bet on it. That's the way I feel about it right now. So. Yeah, I hope it does. I hope it does happen, and then they finish out the end of the year and wrap this sucker up.
Yeah, it sucks for a lot of these big bands now, especially these big bands that are old. Aerosmith just put off its European run. KISS just put off an Australian run. There are bands who are out there, doing it, but Europe is not completely stable in terms of what's going on. And again, it comes back to politics. But that's part of life. People can't decide how to have a conversation about stuff, which is really unfortunate. But I think at the end of the day, regardless of one's point of view and where you're coming from, everyone's just trying to do the right thing, the best thing possible. I don't think there's any evil involved in any of the different perspectives. No one's trying to, fuck someone else over.
No.
It's just, if there were easy answers,
And at the end, they should just do one more last show, maybe in Dubai, and then put it on pay-per-view.
Nice circle back, Mark.
A real one in Dubai with a real audience. And real merchandise.
Or maybe some other Western-friendly nation. Maybe bring Kiss to the Taliban.
There you go.
We've been to Dubai. Now we're going to go to somewhere else. Really
Taliban
friendly.
pressing.
They ought to play a concert on that bridge that's between Canada and Detroit.
The Rainbow Bridge?
Where the truckers are stuck.
Hot topic.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, blast them out of the way. No, I think Kiss needs to get it over with. Because this is really
It's a never-ending tour at this point.
Yeah, and or they
change the name to that. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is by no fault of their own. So
No.
There we go. That's a whole bunch of random shit. Some very much off topic. I guess I have to ban myself from the board now. Creatures Fest. You know what? I've had to lock so many topics today. It's really a bummer. If Vinny shows, if Vinny doesn't show, people who are involved in it. You know what? I think a lot of the people who are commenting on those threads have no intention of even going to the fucking event. There's going to be Ace, there's going to be Bruce, there's going to be a whole lot of other acts to not worry about any details. The people who've organized this event have organized events elsewhere that have gone off without, too much of a hitch. I paid for streaming for the Christmas thing. I can't remember what it was called now. So, settle back with your rhetoric and your hate of Vinny. He's delivered to all of the people who've gone to his little events in Nashville, and just realize that he ain't going to do it the way maybe a lot of us wanted him to do it. And I've moved on from it. I think a lot of the people who are just completely wrapped up in that bullshit need to step away from it and move on. Just check out and chill out. Having to lock that shit all the time is really tiresome, especially when you start getting personal about people who were involved in it that you don't even fucking know. Or maybe you've met them. It doesn't really matter. It's uncool. So, there we go. That's a public service announcement that I wasn't even asked to give, because no one's mentioned a thing. So, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Thank you for spending time listening to the KissFAQ podcast today. All sales are final. There are no refunds. If you'd like, look us up on Facebook or come over to the KissFAQ message board and discuss the topic we've broadcast today. Don't forget to rate us on iTunes, Spreaker, or wherever you've listened to the show. We hope you'll join us again.